View that video to private.
Yeah, okay, now I know. Alright.
Let's start over.
They got everybody to do that. They want all that video.
Like, what can the government do for you?
Well, they're doing it one way or the other.
Before we end up on the front of the Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the things that the government's doing. Get ready for-
Praise the government.
I'm going to show the video full set.
It might be helpful. I'm gonna quit. There is a PTAG video that we have that shows all that PTAG does. So,
Well, if you want to show it at some point, that's right. Okay, do you want to talk a little bit about what contracting means to you? What contractors do to
Well,
make you crazy?
One of the things, we were just kind of talking, SAM's registration and making sure that's updated. There is an expiration on them. There's nothing more frustrating than going back to redo or modify a contract, and then your SAM registration is expired, and it takes a while to get it back up and going, so that delays everything that's going on. One of the other things is, and this is just kind of a piece of advice, is if you do start working with the federal government or getting contracts with the federal government, don't try to build too fast, because the demands on it they'll get you. Perfect example, I'll give you one, is had a new women-owned business, small business out of Missouri that we contracted for mental health and drug and alcohol rehab type services. So she subcontracts those out. We got a couple of really good ones. Of course, the really good ones always leave. And then we got a couple of really bad ones. And so you got to be, if you're kind of subcontracting out those kind of things, really check the people that you're sending for the services. That's one of the biggest things. It'll hurt you in the long run as for your the reputation of your business, those kinds of things. Because I know that as soon as option year 4 is over with this particular contractor, I'm not using her again. I'll resolicit and go for somebody else. Whether it costs more or costs less, that really doesn't matter at this point. You know what I mean? The services are really the most important thing. Other thing is, make sure that that things that upset us is, me in particular is not being able to get in contact with the vendor, because everything there's a timeline on everything, and we have to have certain things done before we can contact the vendor or solicit or resolicit for a contract. So, always make yourself available, make sure your email addresses are good, make sure everything is up and going. It'll make the transition or the process a lot smoother. It takes a long time anyway, but that's from the contracting side. Now, but on the COR side, that's basically, COR is a contracting officer representative. What the primary job of them or us are to ensure that the contract or the vendor is meeting the contract specifications. So you have your SOW. Let's take redoing a roof, for instance. So we have our SOW, which is your statement of work, what all needs to be done, so on and so forth. COR is the one who actually will initiate it and end it. So if it isn't to spec, it isn't to what's in your SOW, please, if you do get a contract, don't deviate from what you put on there. I think that was mentioned earlier, is what is on there is what the government is expecting. A lot of times I've seen COs and CORs do this, try to get you to do more, without pay. That's something you kind of really need to watch out for. I don't do that personally, but I've seen it done. And that hurts you as a vendor in the long run. And it could be just as easy as, somebody coming up, hey, could you put another piece of flashing on there? Oh yeah, that's not a problem. We as the government, aren't going to pay you for that. You can charge us for it, but we're not going to pay you for it. It's not in the SOW, it wasn't there. You did that on your own. So kind of be careful of that kind of stuff. But other than that, it's really great working with vendors. Of course, I'm on the federal side, and I really would like to learn more about what vendors kind of go through. I know I'm really tough to work with, especially with services, like medical services for our students and things like that. You know, there's real specific things we have to have. And so, but I do, you know, enjoy working with vendors all across the nation. You know, it's really kind of cool to see this side of everything and see everybody kind of working and what you all do, you know, to give services to the federal government. And it's an oyster. I mean, so much stuff out there that the government buys and does. It's just amazing of what you can get into. But
Can you talk a little bit about how, if you were a company who didn't have any experience with the federal government, what would you suggest they do?
Run. Actually, that's where my friends, what is it called now? PTAC, who's provided services, you know, who provide services on, you know, like SAM registration, invoicing platforms, because different government agencies use different platforms for invoicing.
Yeah, I'm talking about how do they make contact with you to let you know they exist? How do you, like, how should they just approach?
One of the main things, you know, I'm always open to a phone call. So if you get online, you say, okay, hey, we want to get a hold of Job Corps. Everything in the government is public knowledge, so you can look us all up. You can look us up by title. You can get our phone numbers. Some of us, you can actually, you know, find out how much we make, which you would make you cry because I don't get paid enough as a federal employee. But yeah, so the initial kind of thing. Actually, I'm here if you know, if you want, I can give you all my phone number. I've already did with these lovely ladies over here. Kind of guide you if you need some help. I'm actually in the process of retiring in about 8 years, and I want to transition into a kind of
The ramp-up period of the retirement.
Yes.
A long ramp.
So hopefully I can do kind of a consulting business between now and then, get that established and start going. So, you know, if y'all need any information, of course I would never charge y'all for anything, but I'm always open to if I can offer any information or guide you in one way or another.
Yeah, when you retire, we need contracting officers to work for PTAC.
Absolutely, okay. I'm very expensive now.
Remember, our funds come from the federal government.
Script changes. That's it. How much pizzazz on your proposal is too much pizzazz? Like, is it a bad thing to have a company logo on the top
No.
corner of every sheet? Do you give a
No.
shit about a CEO's personal commitment statement,
No.
stuff like that, you know?
Really what we're looking for, and now this is just me, you know, the main thing is, what are you going to do, what is the cost, and can you make this work for us? So this is the advice I would give, and I've seen it a few times, and I really love these kinds of bids, is because somebody will come in that's different than everybody else. Now they're a little bit more money, but if you really read the contract and read the statement of work of what they have to offer, you know, they have those little detail things. So let's take a dentist for example. Okay, well, they're going to throw in all the extractions for this cost, and they're going to do classes with our students. Well, this other one just wants to come in, clean teeth, pull a few teeth, and go. Well, I like this person better because they're going to offer more for our students. So if you can offer something different or more than another vendor does, that's going to put you right up there. That's going to make you stand out.
And you don't have to take the low bid.
You don't have to what?
We don't have to
You
take
don't
a low
have to
bid.
take the low
No. It's whatever the services are. So, but you know, it can't be outrageous like an extra $10,000 or anything like that. But you know, if it's a couple of thousand more and we're getting more, it
It's
looks
value.
good, yeah, we'll take it. And that's pretty much, as an administrative officer, you know, I work, there's different warrants, so I need to explain that. So different warrants, what a warrant is a
Authority to sign.
authority to sign up to a certain amount of money. They go all up into the millions. So I'm at the lowest level, and I'm okay with that. But when they go up to the higher ones, one of the cool things is that, when I'm talking to another CEO saying, hey, I need these kinds of things, they send me some of the information, and that's what I'm looking for. What's going to stand out? What can you give us that's different than everybody else? And I don't mind, paying the extra money for it. Matter of fact, I do that quite often.
How do you feel about companies finding so there's no central location. I can't look up all Job Corps contracting officers.
You can, in a certain way. If you go on and look for, you say Job Corps employees, you Google that kind of stuff, or like me, you can look up Sil Garza, and it'll bring me up. If you look up Flatwoods Job Corps, it'll give you all the people who work there.
Right.
There should be somebody out of DC, and if I'm not mistaken, it's on OPM, the OPM website, where you can actually search for just about any federal employee. If I'm
So
not
you'd have to
mistaken.
know the name.
You would have to know the name, right?
And then how do you feel about getting a one-page capability statement about a company? Would you be inclined to do anything with it? What would you do with it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I could just, one thing that I do is if I see that somebody else can utilize something, even though it isn't me, I'm going to forward it on to somebody else, in the nation. I really believe in small business. I believe in lifting everybody up, and I hope that happens to me when I transition out of working with the federal government. It's out there. So again, if y'all need my number, I can give it to you. My office number is 276-395-8401. If I don't answer, just leave a message, say, hey, I was over at the training with you, and I'll give you a holler back.
And then, do you get, how effective do you feel the small business advocates are in the agencies? Do they give you the names, is that an effective process?
Unfortunately, no. One of the things, I think a lot of small businesses get overlooked for the simple reasons they don't know how to get into the game. And that's where these ladies will come into play. As a matter of fact, I get calls from vendors all the time. It's what do we do? How do we do this? And so, I kind of try to work them through, but now we have a resource for that, which is excellent. Use those things. Network, who is key in the government, can make things move really quickly for you. A lot of times we can't, show favoritism, but we can always say, hey, this guy has a really good reputation, or this women's owned business has a great reputation. We're going to flood all the work to them. Then what I do is I pass that information. Hey, did y'all hear about this one? You understand what I'm saying? So other people will start trying to solicit, to you for those kinds of things. Really important to keep your business number one, top notch.
Are there any federal agencies located down here?
Social Security, Forest Service, Job
Fish and
Corps,
Wildlife.
Fish and Wildlife, Department of Labor, sometimes.
Mhm.
Did you say that you all purchase from the GSA's catering?
We do.
Did you say, is that your,
It's one of
Where
our
you
primary
look first.
sources, yeah. Now, we work down in Coburn, so there isn't a lot of small business. We'll pump, just in Coburn, we probably pump in annually roughly about $3.4 million into that small community. And that's just purchasing food, gas, groceries, those kinds of things. Now, if there was a small business that had what we needed, a lot of times, we would go right to them and it'd be easier for us.
Do you need cleaning
That's good.
supplies?
We always need cleaning supplies. You're the man. I need your card.
Do you want to do a demonstration?
We can sit down, we can talk. I'll tell you what kind of stuff we need. We buy in bulk. So, usually cleaning supplies, a minimum order for me is usually within between 30 and 50K. And so, but that's once a year. It's one bulk thing. Get it all in, store it, we use it. Then in our next fiscal year, we order again.
Let's go around the room and tell him what your services are in case there's another need for things. Who wants to go next?
Donald with Norrisville Fabrication in Norton.
Oh, cool, okay.
Welding and fabrication as well as machine shop capability.
Did you do a WBO for us at one time?
I think Ron did, yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool, all right. We're thinking about bringing our welding trade back, so
Okay.
kind of stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
I'm Tim Hedrick with Lawrence Brothers Incorporated out of Bluefield, Virginia. Steel fabrication of whatever sort, laser cutting, plasma cutting,
Really?
bending, shearing,
How cool is that?
welding, powder coating, sandblasting.
Do y'all do like LED signposts to put up and stuff
And
like
I
that?
do a lot of business signs as well.
Do you really?
Yeah, a lot of business signs like steel furniture, a lot of park benches, and chairs, things of
You
that
got a
nature.
card or anything?
Not on person, but I mean, I
Okay.
can get information.
All right,
for
cool.
sure, yeah.
That'll work. I need an LED sign put up. You know, I need posts and stuff. Somebody
Yeah.
actually put it up. So we need to talk about that. This is a great resource for me. I was like, hey, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. It's a great resource for them too. Good, you guys want to talk about what you do?
Do code manufacturing, fabrication mainly. We do laying systems, just anything with steel fabrication.
Oh, how cool is that? All right.
I have a question for
Sure.
you.
Sure.
Do you have, or do you know where someone could find, like a typical proposal of what one would look like for a government? I mean,
Lots of pages. If you give me your email, I can clean one up and send it over to you
okay.
and kind of give you an idea of an outline, but they're all kind of different.
We have a treat in store for you on Thursday that will also help address that issue.
Okay.
And then you want to talk about the other side of your business besides cleaning supplies?
Yeah, we rebuild mining equipment, it's a separate business that we have.
Well, that's cool. So like pumps and some pumps, things like that as well, or?
No, more in the entire piece of equipment, like a continuous miner.
Oh, okay. All right, got it.
Shuttle call, we bring them in and tear them down to the frame, and then
Wow,
send the components out, get them redone, and reassemble everything.
that's cool.
And that's 69 different kind of cleaning supplies?
Yeah, we manufacture, we're a chemical blender, so we
Okay.
manufacture a full line of car care chemicals, car
Okay.
appearance chemicals, then industrial cleaners, degreasers, and that kind of thing. And,
Sanitizers.
we don't do sanitizers.
Okay.
But we have access to that type of product.
Ask me what my favorite Blue Wolf product is.
What is it?
I don't know what it's called, but when you
But I know what it is.
Oh, I love this one.
That sounds like that movie for God's sake.
So you know when you have like a marble floor and it's wet and you like slide across it and you cause lawsuit, you can, end up with lawsuits on your hands?
Right.
They have a product that they can treat the floors with that basically makes it a skid surface so that you can't slide across it.
Hey, that's cool.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
See, it's your favorite new Blue Wolf product.
Yeah.
It helps prevent slips and falls. It'll give a wet floor 200 to 400% more traction than
You're
a not
kidding.
treated wet.
Wow, that is cool. We could actually use something like that in our dorms.
It has to be a mineral floor, meaning
Mhm.
ceramic tile, porcelain tile. It does bathtubs, showers as
Oh,
long
that's
as
a
they're
very good one.
tile or porcelain.
So not a concrete or a sealed concrete?
It'll work on concrete, but not a sealed concrete.
Gotcha.
The chemical has to get to the minerals in the floor.
Gotcha. How cool is that?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you for your little.
It wasn't much information, but
Very helpful.
give me a holler anytime.
Okay. All right, so we're going to switch over to the government side at this point and talk about how they prepare for a contractor board.